Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope you're doing well today. I hope that the beginning of the week was a good one for you. You felt the energy of new beginnings and new hope, and that you are revisiting the ideas and thoughts that you need to during all of these planets in retrograde. Thank God Mercury is not one of them. You can go forward with your plans, but you have to, be more consciously aware than ever before. But you knew that already, didn't you? I hope that whenever and wherever you are right now, even if you're in the dark, you realize that you are the light you need to shine. The light is within you. I tell that to myself as my bedroom light has gone out, and it runs on a very specific little LED that apparently the landlord cannot any longer find. I don't know what's going on with that, but if I turn on my light, it blinks a lot. I mean, I have 4 lights in the house that we're doing this. The landlord sent over the handyman who took my son's light out of his room and hasn't replaced it at all. My house, if you turn on all the lights, half of them will be blinking at different rates and frequencies, and this apartment is a minefield for anybody that has epilepsy. No one can come over if you have epilepsy, because this house is for sure seizure inducing. Seizure inducing. I mean, it's like ridiculous. I can't turn on my overhead light in any of the rooms, so I don't know. Until they can find the LEDs or a new replacement. These are all like lights that are inserted into the ceiling. So like my son, they took his light out and now it's just a hole in the ceiling. It's so ridiculous. I don't even know. So I'm trying to get this done early. So I was thinking the sunlight can light my notebook that I took notes on, and alas, no, it can't, because it is so dark out, even at 6:30 here, because of the intense cloud cover. And I don't know, it's just a lot of cobalt blue clouds, even grayish clouds. Earlier there were golden clouds and they were stacked like layers, like it was almost like a lapis lazuli gold energy to the clouds. And now I wonder if that's not where they got the idea to make Egyptian art. Maybe not, but I just thought of Egyptian art when I said that. Anyway, I figured making this at this hour is no different than doing it at night, because we still have traffic all night long. After I published my episode, about an hour and a half after I published my episode last night, there was some fool outside at 3:30 in the morning honking his horn, waiting for someone to come to the car. Then he went around the block after 10 minutes of that and came back and did the same thing, 10 more minutes honking the horn. And it's like all day, all night, it doesn't even matter. There's going to be the honking of the horns and the buses and alarm sounds. Might as well do it now. That was like the main reason I was doing this at night, because I thought, well, less traffic, it might be higher sound quality. But I don't know, maybe it's ASMR. The sounds of traffic in Cuenca, Ecuador, in the outer skirts of town. There's your ASMR. I would have started recording this near the river, which is a gorgeous sound for the background, but I was going to do this months ago even, and my son was like, yeah, but there are a few crackheads around, and the crackheads like to steal things and jump you for money and stuff like phones, and I don't know. When both my kids went over to the Feria Libre, which is a marketplace, an enormous marketplace here in town, you could get just about anything there, and anything you'd find in a normal store, but high quality produce directly from the farmers. And all the farmers have booths, and you could get unroasted or pre-roasted coffee that you could just roast yourself in your oven or stovetop. I haven't quite figured that one out yet, but it's on my agenda. And I'm super curious if I can do it myself. You know me, I just want to do everything myself. I mean, seriously, if I could grow mulberry trees and have silkworms make silk for me and then turning that into like a scarf, I would do it, but that's just too much. There's no way anyone can be self-sufficient 100%, but I would love to be as self-sufficient as possible. But at the Feria Libre, when my kids went like 2 years ago, there was this really, really little kid, like 8 years old, tried to sell my kids crack. And like, he's like, come with me. And he was super cute and took my oldest by the hand and led him down like an outer section of the Feria Libre. And my son was like, what's up? ¿Qué pasó? What's happening? And he's like, he brought him to his father, and his father's like, how much crack do you want? And my son's like, excuse me, I don't want crack at all. I don't do those kind of drugs, that's like damaging to the brain, like, I guess if he had had magic mushrooms, my son would have said, yeah, baby, let's go. And then the guy kind of said to my son, like, get out of here, like in English, get out of here. And the little kids start giving my son like the dirtiest look, like, how dare you waste my time? And my son's like, you're 8, why are you trying to sell drugs to people? Like, just, my son has a mohawk and green hair usually, and but that doesn't mean he wants to smoke crack. That's insane, right? So it's like everywhere. You get anything at the Feria. You can't get good drugs, only crack. Which is not a good drug. And, just anything from the white powder family pretty much is very dangerous. Oh, man. But completely ridiculous. So that's not why I'm not staying next to the river, which would drown out all of the sounds of the traffic, by the way. But oh well. It's like, I don't want to get, like the last sounds, you guys would be like, no, you can't take my phone. And then it'd be the sound of someone smoking crack 5 minutes later, right? How much do you want for the phone? $50, okay. How much crack will that buy me? I'm just kidding. I have no idea how much, but that's why I'm not near a river or something more beautiful sounding. Anyway, my long ass explanation. All right. I'm going to get into the Schumann thing, but I wanted to tell you, last month I didn't mention it. I was hoping nothing would happen, but it was too late anyway by the time I found out that a meteor or asteroid the size of the Empire State Building pass by very, very close to Earth. There's one or two that I did report on one of them, and then the one that I didn't report was that one. Well, this month they're saying that, well, we're going to have the same thing, but now it's the asteroid the size of the Washington Monument will fly past Earth this month. I mean, I wonder if next month won't be the size of the Taj Mahal. You know, what other landmark or building can we relate it to? I mean, it's like we're just in the Earth, and our galaxy in general has just passed into what I am deeming to be a pretty very dangerous part of space, where there's a lot more asteroids and meteors. It's what it seems like anyway, right? Because we're more in alignment now with the galactic center and the central sun, the grand central sun. It's just so weird that our whole galaxy can move while we're all moving around our own sun. It's like this giant mobile over a baby god's crib. It's so weird. I don't know. But we're now in the Perseid meteor showers. So we just ended a meteor showers. Now we have a brand new one. So if you want to go out, I can't, because the sky is just more ominous than ever right now. Super, super dark blue, dark gray clouds. It looks like it's starting to rain in one part of the sky anyway. But I can't see a damn thing. I hope you guys, though, I hope wherever you are, whenever you are, you can actually see the clear skies and the Perseid meteor showers, because it's pretty exciting. But yeah, every month now there's a brand new monument they're relating an asteroid to that might come awfully close. I mean, seriously, one false move in the timing situation, and time and space, wherever the Earth is, hopefully the asteroid won't be terribly close to us, but it feels like any month now it might be the end for all of us, right? They keep reporting this. I'm like, oh my God, not another one. It's bad enough that we have to deal with the hole in the magnetosphere, which is causing all kinds of havoc when the sun releases its plasma, and the CMEs and the solar minimum cycle that we've been in. It's bad enough that we're worried about all that causing earthquakes and volcanoes. Now we're worried about the sky might be falling, literally. Anyway, it's just crazy stuff. All right. On the Schumann resonance from Italy today on disclosurenews.it, they state only in the evening report, that's all there was today. Today there was a light and sparse activity in the morning. UTC peaks occurred at 15 hertz, while at 12 UTC there was a strong isolated peak at 47 hertz. So that's cool. Italy finally got into the fifth dimension. I'm just kidding. I'm sure Italy was already there. All right. All right. Where are we at? Okay. In the other, on heartmath.org, we're going to go into this. So California at midnight was, okay, I'm looking for this. Okay, yeah. California at midnight was at 151 hertz frequency. An hour later went down to 149. At 2 a.m. went down to 147. 145 was seen in California at 3 a.m., followed by 142 hertz frequency on the Schumann resonance scale at 4 a.m. And Hofuf, Saudi Arabia, started off at 68 hertz, went down to 67 an hour later, back up to 68 at 2 a.m. 3 a.m., 71 hertz frequency, and in Hofuf, Saudi Arabia, 71 hertz frequency at 4 a.m. on the Schumann resonance scale. Now, Lithuania today started off at 130 hertz frequency and remains that until 3 a.m. where it changed to 132 hertz frequency and 133 at 4 a.m. Okay, so let's see here. There we go. All right. Alberta, Canada was at 340 hertz frequency at midnight. An hour later, 348. An hour later at 2 a.m., 358. My God, that's like so much, right? And at 3 a.m., 365. Oh, goodness. Now this thing has moved again. So I can't get to the fourth. All right. As soon as I paused it, then all of a sudden everything went back to normal on this website. Ugh, this website drives me crazy. Okay. Landing at 4 a.m. at 370 hertz frequency in Alberta, Canada. That's just huge, right? That's freaking huge. All right. At Northland, New Zealand, they started off at midnight at 147 hertz frequency. They went down to 141 at 1. At 2 a.m., they were 138 and 137 at 3, followed by 133 at 4 a.m., which was the same as Lithuania. They were both at 133 at 4 a.m. All right, so now we'll go to Hulului, South Africa. They were at 11 hertz frequency at midnight. They went down to 7 at 1. At 2 a.m., they were down to 4 hertz frequency, 2 hertz frequency at 3 a.m., and completely 0 at 4 a.m. So that's just weird. I don't know why it goes down to 0. But there you have it. It's all over the map. Now, I don't know. After I read the A Course in Miracles, lesson 65, I'm going to take a quick break. And tonight we're going to talk about the hertz frequencies of color, as well as the vibrational hertz frequencies of the various planets. Because I don't know if this is going to help us or make us more confused, but it seems interesting to me that colors have various frequencies, and the color frequencies are way higher than that of the Schumann resonance. And the Earth itself vibrates at a couple different frequencies, and we keep talking about the Schumann resonance. I wanted to maybe put it into perspective with you guys. Like when they say that Alberta, Canada is 369 hertz frequency, that means Alberta, Canada is literally matching the color of deep red. I don't know if this is going to help or hinder us in our understanding of what the hertz frequency is. It's very weird, right? But we're going to go through it anyway. I took several pages of notes. Hopefully I can see them. I might have to use my little phone with the flashlight on it. I do have a night light on my nightstand here, but it's very low in frequency. It's a very low watt bulb, so I'm like, I don't know. I might have to go out and get high watt bulbs and just put lamps in every room and just forget the overhead lights here. All the more reason to get rich quick. Or in general, not quick, but in general, so that I can buy a house here that has decent lighting. I need to buy a house here to be an investor visa, to get my investor visa, because then I could come and go as I please and I could travel, and that would be just really ideal. So I got 2 years to achieve this goal. All right. Today in A Course in Miracles at acim.org, or you could go get this on an app if you are so inclined to do these lessons on your own. We're going to read just the basic idea for lesson 65. It is, my only function is the one God gave me. My only function is the one God gave me. All right, so this thought reflects a goal that is preventing me from accepting my only function. This is what you're supposed to say when you try to concentrate on only thoughts related to the idea of the day, but then other thoughts will interfere. So you have to say, this thought reflects a goal preventing me from accepting my only function. So it says, then when you no longer have interfering thoughts, you say, on this clean slate, let my true function be written for me. So later it says, for a shorter practice period, you should say, my only function is the one God gave me. I want no other, and I have no other. So again, the idea for the day is, my only function is the one God gave me. Basically. This is more of a complicated lesson. It has 6 steps to it. No, I'm sorry, 8 steps to it. So, if you do this lesson, it will behoove you. Behoove, what does that even mean? Remember when your teachers used to say that in grade school? It would behoove you to listen to the lesson today. Would it behoove me? What else would behoove me? My Hoover? My vacuum cleaner? Behoove. What does that mean? I always thought it was like something would behoove you if you behave. Maybe it's related to, maybe it's the past tense of behave. I don't know. What is that word? Anyway, yeah, this lesson will help you if you are so inclined to read the whole thing and do the whole thing. And all right. So there are correspondences between everything. I'm going to attempt to explain some of the correspondences between musical notes and color and the Hertz frequency of those things as well when I come back. If you're listening to this, you obviously like podcasts, and you probably like music too. Long walks on the beach, romantic dancing under the stars, and oh wait, we're not doing that right now. On Spotify, you can listen to all of that in one place for free, and you don't even need a premium account, which is cool. Free is always good. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcasts so you never miss an episode. download episodes to listen to offline wherever you are, including your long romantic walks on the beach. Also, one thing I love about Spotify is that you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends via Spotify's integrations with the social platforms like Instagram. So that makes it really, really versatile. Just search for Metaphysical Soul Speak on the Spotify app or browse podcasts in the Your Library tab. And follow me, of course, don't forget, so that you'll never again miss an episode of Metaphysical Soul Speak. Spotify is the world's leading music streaming service, and now it can be your go-to for podcasts too. Thank you guys so much for supporting Metaphysical Soul Speak on Spotify. Hi guys, I know that it's summertime, it's August, I was born in August, and I know this is a hot, hot month, especially if you're in the United States, and now we've sent the hotness over to Europe. So if you are enjoying the summer heat, but you're not enjoying what it's doing to your skin, I may have a solution for you. CTFO, known for its high-quality CBD oil hemp products. CTFO stands for Change the Future Outcome. Of course, this is changing the future outcome of your skin, your life, and, well, maybe your pocketbook if you decide to join the business for absolutely free. And the link is provided for the products and the business right in this show's description. I just wanted to let you know real quick that CTFO has a brand new full spectrum CBD oil, hemp oil infused SPF 30 sunscreen. So this looks amazing. This is really going to help you out with those fine lines, dark spots, and skin aging that normally would occur if you did not use any protection at all. As you know, CBD oil does help against free radicals. It helps get rid of wrinkles. It reverses skin conditions such as ruddiness, breakouts, and also inflammation in the skin. So this is a gentle, sheer formula enriched with antioxidants, and it protects all skin types as well as being water resistant. We also have a new After Sun skincare cream filled with vitamin D, and as you know, your skin would love to absorb the vitamin D, not just from the sun, but also from the cream after you're out of the sun. Remember, we talked about a couple weeks ago how vitamin D can help you absorb things like magnesium, potassium, vitamin C, and it goes down to the bone and it makes you so healthy. Vitamin D is excellent. And here it's this cream, this After Sun skincare cream has loads of vitamin D. So if you want to check it out, yeah, if you don't want to, that's cool. If you want to check it out, there is a link in the show's description. Just wanted to let you guys know. Alas, I forgot to say that we are 97 on the Ascension Symptom Scale, and that means that we are a little bit more mentally clear than yesterday, but still heavy on the Ascension symptoms. And I did forget to say that. Sorry about that. In the first part, in the intro, this light thing has been throwing me for a loop for days, and at first it was just this. It was blinking a little bit. Now when I turn on, it's like a strobe light. Oh my God. It's like putting these lights in your house. It's like a bomb going off. It's like a future bomb gonna go off, you know? I mean, it's a good thing we don't have epilepsy. Seriously, like, one day everything's fine, turn the light, everything's cool. Next thing you know, you're laying on the ground having a seizure because your light is so strobe lighty. It's crazy. I used to have a roommate with epilepsy, and my uncle has it. There's two people can't come over. Two people I really like, too. Oh, darn it. All right. Not that they're coming to Ecuador anytime soon, but all right. No, seriously, if you ever need a massive buffer zone between you and, like, everybody you know, move to Ecuador. Move to a foreign country. Everyone will think you're crazy, and they'll be terrified to visit you for some weird reason. I had one friend who was going to come visit me, and I'm like, yeah, just come visit. And then he was coming to, like, change his whole life, move here, and be in a relationship with me. I'm all, whoa, I thought you meant a week or two. Like, you're just moving in? Like, you didn't even bother to ask me? And he was like, it was going to be this grand gesture of love. He was going to declare his love for me and then move on into my life. And this is my ex-boyfriend. And I love him, but he cheated on me with half the town. It's like he's going to cheat on me, try his luck with, like, half the neighborhood. Like, I don't think so. I can't trust that, It's like, I thought you were going to come visit me for, like, a week, man. Like, that's too much for me. I'm not trying to get that into my life. Like, that's too much. If it had been someone that we broke up because I moved to another country or something, but that was a reason why we broke up, because I had a feeling he was cheating on me, and it turned out he was. And I kept getting people over the next couple years would write me, well, I've been with him for 6 months. I've been with him for 3 months, and you're the other woman. And it's like, dude, he was with me for 2.5 years. So, I mean, you guys are all the other women, and that's why I broke up with him. But anyway, no one visits me down here. It's like not final. You don't have to come and visit and you guys know who you are. I have 3 or 4 friends that listen to this that are my good friends, like, for forever. You don't have to come live down here. It's not the end of the world. You could come and visit for a week. We do have airplanes that fly out too. My one friend was, like, so freaking out that I was down here. Why don't you come home? I can't believe you're there. And then finally she admitted to me that she had a feeling that I was living, like, in a jungle hut, like with a dirt floor. And I'm like, where did you get that? No one told you that. I live in a 500-year-old city, but it's modern, and we've got some cobblestones and gorgeous architecture, but for the most part, it's a city. It's just a normal place, It's a normal place without red licorice, damn it, but it's a normal place. And she's like, oh, okay. And it's like, for some reason, I don't know, did she think that we were getting around, like, by riding donkeys? Or it's like, there's actually taxis and roads, and I don't know. People get weird ideas about other countries. The media does not help this at all. All right, guys, hold on. Let me go get my donkey. He's acting up. I have to take him out tomorrow. I'm just kidding. We don't have donkeys here. We could have horses. Actually, I have seen horses go down the street here, but it's very rare. It was more actually in the heart of Bogota. I saw people come down the mountain on their donkeys with these huge bags of coffee beans they had just picked, and they're going down to the marketplace to sell the beans and also to bring them to roasters. I mean, literally, Juan Valdez, like, that was a real man. And I saw people that, I mean, with the same outfit, the same everything, just like on the TV commercials. When I was in Bogota, Colombia, that's what I saw. It was almost like, holy crap, Juan Valdez is here. And he looked just like, and there's my favorite coffee shop like Starbucks, it's a chain, is literally called the Juan Valdez Cafe. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the topic for tonight, but I thought it might be interesting for some of you. I love coffee so much, so anything to do with that whole thing. But they bring them down, like donkeys are more sure-footed than horses on the steep mountains, and they grow the coffee on the sides of the mountains in Bogota. Like right in the heart of the city, I saw this. I was blown away. I was like, I was in heaven. I'm like surrounded by coffee growing in Antigua, Guatemala too. If you ever go to a Starbucks and it says Antigua, that is where it's grown, in Antigua, Guatemala. Really good coffee there too. But I'm living among the Ecuadorian coffee now. I wonder if there's different hertz frequencies to the different coffee grown at different elevations and different ranges. I know that it affects the flavor. Coffee tastes more like chocolate between, I don't know, is it 3,500 at 5,000 feet, but then at 3,500 feet, it tastes more like berries. So you could tell, or it might be the opposite. You could tell once you get used to it and you know it. It's like you could almost take a sip of a coffee and go, this is grown at 3,500 feet. It's too berry-rific. I mean, I'm sure you could get that good. I haven't yet. I'm working on it. I will. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about the hertz frequencies of colors. Of just the basic colors. I mean, I'm not going to go into like the hertz frequency of tan or periwinkle. But I'm going to go over the basics. And I don't know, it's very interesting, the correspondences. Have you guys ever seen a correspondence chart for everything magical? Like this tarot card relates to this color, relates to this frequency, to this musical note, to this day of the week, to this angel. There are correspondences. My ex had a book of correspondences. It was over 500 pages long. It was everything that corresponded to everything else. It was, I mean, I would sit for hours reading it. Do I remember a damn thing from the book? No, of course not. But it was interesting at the time, to read it, sit and read it. Like, this herb corresponds to that planet and that goddess and that musical note and that color and that frequency. It's interesting. It's interesting. So we're going to try to make some kind of sense of this tonight. I'm going to go ahead and give you the information I wrote down, and then we're going to see maybe what we can do with it. There might be something. There might be something we can do that we can figure out from this. And even if it's not apparent readily by the end of this episode, maybe in the coming weeks or days or months, you're going to go, wait a minute, such and such is this hertz frequency. And you can go back and listen to this again and relate it to this, because I know that there's some kind of a secret that we're not going to see right away that will become readily apparent later. I just know it. Anyway, have you guys ever heard of synesthesia? Before I get into this, synesthesia is when you, some people have it automatically, right? Where things kind of misfire in the brain. But to have synesthesia is when you can hear color, you can hear the frequency of color, or you can taste the sound of a bird, or you could, like you can hear color, you can see sound, you can taste or sense energy in a way that you're not supposed to normally be able to. This happens a lot when you are on LSD, lysergic acid. When you take that drug, when you're on acid, you feel and see things in a different way. So it gives you a different perspective. It's very, very weird and interesting. So like you might hear a song and you taste the flavor of that song. It's so weird. It's so weird, but it's something that happens. So you could taste a song, or a color will make you cry because you feel the energy of it. And it might be the frequency of crying, you know. Synesthesia is when the opposite, or not the opposite, but something way different. Like you could almost see music. You can hear, normally you hear sound, but when you drop acid, you can hear color. Or when you see color, you feel it energetically on a different level. Like, you know, it's like everything is jumbled up. Synesthesia. My good friend has it, and he's had it for a long time. Never dropped acid, but he did have this automatically. And my oldest kid has this automatically too, or has at points, different points. Now that he's an adult, he's actually gotten his hands on some LSD, and he's done this a couple times, and he discovered that it's helping him overcome, or when he did it a few times, it helped him overcome a lot of his post-traumatic stress disorder, a lot of the stuff that we've gone through together as a family. We all have PTSD, so there's always ways to heal, and that's a good way. We never did do ayahuasca. I haven't felt the need to, even though Pachamama called me to live in South America, and I'm here now. Yeah, Pachamama's been calling me for most of my life. Snake dreams. And that's a whole nother frequency. And I think that every country has its frequency, every city. And you can look at the numerology behind things, and that has a different energy. Everything is energy. Everything is a frequency. It has a frequency. All right, so let's get into it. A 1 hertz, or okay, if something resonates at 60 hertz, that means it's 60 cycles per second. Okay, so when I say something is 350 hertz, that's 350 cycles per second. That's how fast it's vibrating. Just so we get into it. Now, the color that is near the infrared frequency, it's almost black. It's between deep red and black. It's almost all the way approaching blackness. That is a hertz frequency of, it's F4. And I don't know if this is even a musical note. F4, is that a musical note? I am not a musical person at all. I'm going to look this up for. All right, apparently it is a musical note. It says F is a musical note, the 4th above C. So when it says F4, it's the 4th note above C, I guess. It's also known as Fa in fixed do solfege. I have. And then it says has enharmonic equivalence, which is E sharp and G. All right. I know a teeny tiny bit of music. I am not at all beginning at all to understand it. I just don't. I don't play music. I love music. I wish I could. Sometimes, I mean, I've gotten interested in rhythm, you know, drumming. I've had drum lessons, but if I got more into music, maybe I could sing on pitch better. I've always been involved with people who could play music, though. Most of the relationships I've had, or at least half of them, people could play guitar at least, and if not piano, and sing. I love musical people. I hope that my twin flame is musical. I have a feeling he plays guitar. I just keep getting that feeling. All right. All right, so basically F4, the note F4 is blackish, and blackish is the frequency of 349.229 hertz, so around 350. So deep red, like maroon red, would be the note F sharp. So F sharp relates to deep red, and is 369.995. So almost 370 hertz frequency. So basically, last week, Alberta, Canada was deep red. The frequency of Alberta, Canada was deep red. That's crazy, right? Now, red, just the color red, is 391.996, so almost 392, just regular red. That's the note correspondence is G4. Now, G sharp is red-orange. Is this weird for you guys? It's a little weird for me to talk about this, like how the color is related to the note, but we're going to get into some other stuff in a minute. So red-orange is G sharp, which is 415.305 hertz frequency. And orange is 440 hertz frequency, and that's A4. Remember that one, orange. Okay, 440. Now, yellow is A sharp, and it is 466.164 hertz frequency. And B4, before what, you say? Before I get to green, we have to go with lemon, or yellow-green, lemon-lime color. B4 note is related to 493.883. So just under 494 hertz frequency is lemon or yellow-green, green-yellow. Now, C5 is green, and that's 523.251 hertz. All right, so we got to remember that one too. Green, 523.251, which is also C5 on the musical note scale. C sharp is turquoise. C sharp is turquoise. So I wonder if you play a C sharp and I close my eyes, am I going to automatically see turquoise? I mean, that would be synesthesia, I suppose. If I taste the corresponding taste or smell the corresponding smell, that would definitely be turquoise. Like, I wonder if you play an F4, which is black, do you smell burned toast? Okay, if you ever randomly out of nowhere smell burned toast and there's no toast around, you might need to see a doctor immediately. It's a stroke. It's a sign of having a stroke. Unless you have synesthesia and then you hear 349 hertz frequency and you think blackish, oh, that's burnt toast. But turquoise is 554.365 hertz frequency, and it's a C sharp. Blue, the color blue is D5, and it's 587.330 hertz frequency. Now, people have put together concerts relating to this stuff. So, like showing music, hearing music and then showing the colors on a screen at the same time. So, that would be really interesting, right? All right, D sharp is blue indigo, 622.254 hertz frequency. And violet is E5, the note E5, and that's related to 659.255. So just between those two colors, there must be a whole array of colors, right, in the middle, between 622 and 659. I mean, that's like 40 frequencies. There's 40 potential frequencies. There's 40 potential colors between blue, indigo, and violet. In tonses, then. So deep violet is 5-4. Violet was E5. Oh my God, did I just say 5-4? Oh my God. F5. I can't even talk about the music. It's like I don't relate to it at all. I'm like, what am I saying again? Okay, deep violet is F5. And deep violet vibrates at a frequency of 698.457 hertz. So roughly like 698 hertz frequency. And that's like a very high vibrational color. And F sharp is a dark indigo purple. I wonder if that's the color of the indigo girls. Do they use F sharp in their music? In dark indigo purple. 739.989 hertz. That is nearing the ultraviolet frequencies beyond our eyesight. We don't see very many colors. We just don't. And shrimp, there's a shrimp, a specific one in the ocean that could see like, I don't know, like 1 million colors or something. I can't even imagine what they see. Makes me feel guilty about eating shrimp, to be honest. All right. I don't think normal, the average household shrimp that you eat can see as much as this other specialized shrimp. My oldest son found this out and it freaked him out. He's like, this thing can see more colors than us. Does that mean it has a higher mind? Does it have more than what we're aware of? Is it really an alien like octopuses are? Octopi. They're aliens. They come from an alien world. We don't know where, but their genetic code is like nothing else found on Earth. Same thing, I think, with mushrooms. I think they discovered that about mushrooms in general. I know mushrooms came from somewhere else. They're seeded from outside of our world. All right, so the colors I just mentioned, this is a standard scale of music. And the colors are brighter and the sound frequencies are slightly less when you use the musical scale and mathematical scale of Pythagoras. So the Pythagorean scale, it seems to resonate better with people's chakras, their auras, and their hearts, and there's no decimal points. So red, what I mentioned to you, was 391.996 in the standard scale of music. And it's been changed from the Pythagorean scale because on the Pythagorean scale, red is 384, which is also G4, the note G4. So blue is 576 on the Pythagorean scale versus 587.330 hertz. And violet in blue, of course, is, let me see where we're at here. What did I say? Blue is D5 on the musical note scale. So but D5 used to be tuned to 576 hertz frequency. Now D5, when an instrument is tuned to standard, it's 587.330. These sounds like not rounded off, and it just seems like random. And violet is normally E5 on the standard scale. It is 697 or 698.457, but in the original Pythagorean scale of music, violet was just 683, which is also E5. That used to be what the note was just 683 pitch or hertz frequency. So things have changed, and this is very, very weird that it's changed. So it is interesting to note, though, that the pitch A4, which is orange, which I said, remember, take a note of this, is 440 hertz. Okay. It's usually, that's what A4 is, 440, right? But did you guys know that some orchestras don't use 440 hertz for their A4? They move it up to 444 hertz. And the New York Philharmonic Orchestra as well as the Boston Philharmonic Orchestra, they both use 442 hertz frequency for their A4 pitch. So what is actually A4 then? Is it 442, 440, or 444? We don't know, right? It just depends on what you like, I guess, what you relate to. Now, some people use for their A4 415 hertz frequency because this is music from the Baroque era. That's how they related it. And Handel's own tuning fork for A4 is 422.5 hertz. 422, not 440 or 444 or 442. So maybe it seems that different music from different eras functioned on different frequency levels, and as we progressed, we now progress up in pitch. So Handel was using 422, but the New York Philharmonic uses 20 hertz frequency above that. It's really strange, right? Now, Verdi, his A was always resonant at 432 hertz. Now, Giuseppe Verdi and Mozart both used Giuseppe Verdi, and I think it's a verde, meaning green, which does mean green, but in Italian is Verdi, Verdi. Giuseppe Verdi and Mozart, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. They both use 432 as their A, which is right between 422 of Handel's and 444 that some orchestras are now using. Isn't that weird how the pitch of the note A has changed over the years? Isn't that weird? I couldn't believe that when I discovered that today. I just thought that was just really weird, really bizarre. Now, 432 has also been related to the Earth's own frequency. Now, remember, the Schumann resonance is the space between the Earth's crust and the upper ionosphere. It's the frequencies that are reverberating in between these two things in the cavity. That is basically our atmosphere where we live and breathe and function, right? It's very, very strange, right? That the hertz frequency of the Schumann resonance is only 7.83 hertz, while the planet itself is vibrating at 432. Well, I did come across a website that said that it's like a correspondent frequency. And it went into a very long mathematical and scientific explanation as to why they're related to each other. And I didn't understand it, so I don't know. Maybe if you're a scientist and you're listening, you will understand this. I didn't totally get it. Now, there is an audio frequency that is released from each and every one of the planets as well. Okay, so I'm going to go over those. Now, but there's different hertz frequency to do with different parts of the planet. The distance between here and there, the distance it travels around the sun, maybe. There was 2 different distances that were given with 2 different hertz frequencies on this chart that I found. The diameter, the rotation, the period it takes maybe to make a day, to make a year, to make a month. All of these have different frequencies, different cycles. The circumference, the overall sound that is basically emitted. So what I think when I found these numbers of the planets as far as hertz frequency, I think this is the overall sound, because frequency, vibration, and sound are occurring when something is in motion. right? But also the color that the planet is, like Mars might be vibrating at a red planet color, red, possibly. Or maybe not, because is it really red? Maybe not. It's slightly red, but that's also the cameras they were using to film it. So it appears red in the sky when we see it from here. It becomes pretty orangey red. So I don't know. Let's see. We'll start with Mercury. The Mercury is vibrating at 141.27 hertz frequency. Well, most of the cities on our Schumann resonance was vibrating at that, between about around 130, and this is 141. Venus has a higher vibration at 221.23 hertz frequency. Mars vibrates as 144. That's a special number, isn't it? 144,000, right? 144.72 is a vibration of Mars. And I believe that this is the sound frequency vibration. And actually, NASA has done a lot of research into this, and you can go listen on the NASA website. I think also the NASA channel on YouTube has this. So you could go listen to these frequencies and vibrations that have been recorded. You could hear the sounds of the planet. The sound of the sun, it's like frightening. Some of these are extremely frightening to me. When you hear the sound, it's like, oh, that's like really unsettling. And some of them are awesome. Some are like, oh yeah, I could hear that one all day, you know. Jupiter is 183.58 is the frequency. Saturn, the planet of limitation, is 147.85 hertz frequency. Uranus is 207.36 hertz, while Neptune is 211.44. Neptune is just under Venus. It's like 10 hertz frequency under the vibration of Venus. So that was Neptune. And Pluto vibrates at 140.25 hertz frequency, which is very similar to Mars. It's only 4 less than Mars hertz frequency. Very interesting, right? Now Earth vibrates at 432 hertz, but also, you know, the Schumann resonance is 7.83 is the baseline, but the Earth is also vibrating at 432. It used to be said that human beings, the bodies, our bodies, vibrate at 5 hertz frequency, but scientists discovered about a decade ago that we are vibrating at 10 hertz frequency overall. I bet dollars to donuts we're vibrating at 20 now, or maybe more. I mean, now 40 hertz frequency is the lowest rung of the 5th dimension. We have to vibrate that at that rate, right? So it's possible we are. Now, what if that's only the vibration of our physical body, but our soul vibrates at a higher rate? And our hearts vibrate only at like 1.2. If our hearts are going faster, then, you know, our heartbeat itself. But I think that the rhythm of our heart might be a little bit more than just the beat. There might be a harmony there that we can't measure yet. We don't know how. There might be a whole musical orchestra inside your heart. I know for a fact inside your brain is always emitting sounds. All right. The moon hertz frequency is 210 hertz, 210.42. And that is only one different. It's only one below Neptune and 3 above Uranus. So Uranus, Neptune, and the moon. I mean, the moon rules Pisces, right? But I thought Neptune corresponded to Pisces a little bit. In Uranus, I think that's related to Aquarius somehow. Anyway, it would be interesting to look into those further correspondence, right? The sun itself, Hertz frequency, is 126.22. Which seems like it would be vibrating at a much higher rate, right? That's like lower than anything else. But if the sun itself is vibrating at 126.22 Hertz frequency, maybe that's just the sound it's emitting, the Hertz frequency sound. But sunlight itself vibrates at 400, or comes to us and reaches us at between 430,000 Hertz frequency and 770,000 Hertz frequency, or terahertz. So how can the sun only vibrate at 126 Hertz frequency, but the sunlight is reaching us at 430,000 Hertz frequency? This sounds like some of that 0 point energy that Greg Braden has been talking about for decades. I don't know. All right, so let's see, Jupiter's. All right, yeah, I wanted to say that there are many Hertz frequencies associated with the planets. So, for example, the spin of Jupiter. Okay, while Jupiter normally is, the frequency or sound of Jupiter is 183.58 Hertz frequency, that relates directly to creative power. That frequency is the energy level of your creative power. It's only 183.53 Hertz frequency. But when you look at the spin of Jupiter, that is a frequency, not 183, but 473.9 Hertz frequency. And the 473.9 or 474 is an energy vibration, Hertz frequency, associated with good luck. Now, Jupiter itself as a planet is related to us in our astrological chart as being a planet of creative power as well as good luck. So you see how that works. So I don't know. Every planet has a Hertz frequency signature, like a harmonic chord, if you will. It's not just going to be one sound or one tone, one frequency that relates to one color. It's going to be several, like 5 or 6, possibly 7, like our chakras. I think if you really listen to it and study it, it might end up being 12, like us. You know, like 12 chakras, 12 cranial nerves. There's 12 planets. Maybe there's 12 octaves, 12 vibrations and Hertz frequencies per planet. So, let's see, 528 Hertz frequency is very, very, very powerful. 528, what did I tell you to remember green, right? Green is 523.251. Also, it's C5 on the musical notes scale. So, just a little bit above that, 5 Hertz frequency above that, just 5 cycles more per second, you have 528 Hertz frequency. And this one is very important to know. It's the color, I think, emerald green, and it's related to your high heart chakra, the highest part of your heart chakra. And it was discovered to be extremely important by John Hutchinson, who did a series of experiments in Vancouver, British Columbia, as it relates to polluted water. This is the color green, basically. The color of, say, chlorophyll being formed. All right. Now, John Hutchinson is an electromagnetic energy expert. And he discovered that a selection of music that vibrates at 528 hertz frequency will help to purify poison water. It purifies poison water, 528. It also purifies your DNA. It purifies your body. It fixes your DNA. All right, so it matches green. The very dead center of the rainbow is the hertz frequency that literally will take the poison out of water. So Dr. Leonard Horowitz got interested in this. And he says that nature obviously celebrates this shade, this color, that's right in the smack dab center of the rainbow, because it's the same vibration energy frequency as chlorophyll, and it produces oxygen and energy needed for life at that level. So you see how this is important. 528 hertz frequency, that color green. So that's a very important color. So the study results were promising, and they decided to take this show on the road, or at least on the ocean. And they went and they started playing a series of recordings to heal the Gulf of Mexico. So they traveled from Canada. Hutchison and Lazarian, who's Lazarian? That's another scientist. They decided to go to the chemical spill in the Gulf, and they started playing this hertz frequency. And they said they recommended a harmonic stream of sound, because that's what's going to completely purify the polluted water. And they're a couple, so I guess that's his wife maybe, but she didn't go by his last name. I don't know. Anyway, they claim that the inspiration for the harmonics came from the sect of Israel called the Essenes. Jesus was a part of this. And the Essenes inner circle taught that the stream of sound is part of the Creator's power to create. So 528 hertz frequency is the healing frequency. It repairs damaged DNA. And Dr. Leonard Horowitz, working with the mathematician Marco Rodin, they looked at the mathematical relationship to genetic structuring. And Rodin discovered an infinity pattern. And they predict this is going to revolutionize everything. They even have a YouTube video presentation on this knowledge if you want to further investigate this. But I got this information from 528records.com. 528records.com. Because 528, this is very important. Now, Dr. Horowitz in 2009, they produced a concert for living water called Live H2O, and groups from 72 countries participated by singing and chanting in the 528 hertz frequency, and they prayed to all the polluted water to be blessed worldwide with these sounds. And of course, Dr. Masaru Emoto conducted years of research sending purifying intentions, frequency vibrations, and words like love and 528 hertz, as well as 432 hertz is the frequency of love as well. So love corresponds, but I think it's different energy of love. There's different vibrations, frequencies, and sound of various loves. Maybe love of brotherhood would be one. Love of your spouse, passionate, romantic love is a different love frequency, even though it's still love, right? So I think that each individual love has a different frequency. Love of humanity in general, impersonal love. Love of a mother to a son or a daughter, or father to a daughter or a son. That might be different frequencies, right? So the water behaves as if it's conscious when you give the energy to it. It's magnetic and it holds the energy. So what they normally use for cleaning up oil spills in polluted water is a horrible poison called Corexit, Corexit. This has been deadly and has killed animals, ocean life, as well as people. But they had really good results when they actually used 528 hertz frequency. It says in 2009, researcher David Sereda sent to Dr. Horowitz NASA recordings of the sun, along with crystallograph produced by researchers in Russia. Now later, Dr. Horowitz compared the sound of the sun and Jupiter to the pure tones of the perfect circle of sound frequencies that included the 528 hertz frequency. The Harvard-trained public health expert noted 528 hertz frequency was the most obviously harmonic to both recordings. So the sun and Jupiter both have that in and among its various hertz frequencies, because like I said, it's like a chord that's being played. It's not just one note. Each planet has its own sound. Totally. Like Ross on Friends, he has his sound. For those of you who love the TV show Friends, you're going to know what I mean. Ross's sound. It's not just one note. It's too bad it's not just one note. His sound is embarrassing. Anyway. All right. All right. So what else was I going to say to you guys about this? So there's 2 online journals called Hydrosonics that discuss the powerful impact upon water that sound has. And there's another journal called Medical Veritas. Veritas means truth, medical truth, that heralds the advances in natural ways to end pollution and advance healing through sound frequencies. So, of course, we can advance the future of medicine. We can advance all of humanity, in fact. Now, John Hutchinson, he is well known as a scientist who has examined the Bermuda Triangle. He's explained strange occurrences in the infamous area of the Atlantic Ocean, and they call it the Hutchinson effect after him. And all of this is associated with electromagnetic disturbances of unknown origins. The Canadian government, though, they've been persecuting him heavily over the years, and the last time was because, well, he supposedly caused his neighbor to levitate without consent. I wonder if there's an actual law in the books in Canada now. You are not allowed to levitate your neighbors without consent. So, I don't know. If you don't relate to sound as much as color, you could still get benefits of various hertz frequencies. So, if you don't want to play sound at 528 hertz frequency, what if you got the color emerald green and looked at that, and you put that on your body, that would be the same frequency as if you heard sound. I feel like the universe, Prime Creator, gives us different ways to heal ourselves, even if they're, it's like 2 or 3 different ways for the same exact thing. Emerald green is a healing frequency. It's a color of your heart chakra. So we can relate color to sound and to healing on all possible levels. Now in Ecuador, every year the Native South Americans, I guess, the native people, tribal people, they get together. There's one day every year I think it's in May, and I've missed it 2 years in a row now, darn it. But they get together and they gather the community members that are interested, and they teach everyone a song. And this song is sang to all of the rivers, the lakes, the ocean, to keep pollution out of the environment. I would love to get a recording of this and play it against 528 hertz frequency and see if it's not somehow related and corresponded to that. I also know that we have been able to clean up water using a pendulum or dowsing. When you emit the frequency in your mind of clean, pure water, I wonder if your thought is also not now 528 hertz frequency. So you see how powerful this information is. I mean, I've armed you with the information, okay? What if you took this information and you related it to all of the various things in your world? What is it going to do for you to be surrounded by high vibrational sounds and colors? Obviously, it's going to raise your own vibration because now you're becoming a crystalline form. Remember, your skin is changing to all the colors of the rainbow, all the frequencies. But if we're becoming crystalline in nature, crystals will vibrate to the sound frequency that they most hear. Not hear like with ears, but they will vibrate to the resonance. It will resonate to the sounds around them, as will you, which is why all of us metaphysicians for a very long time have said to you, do not focus on lower vibrational colors. Do not focus on lower vibrational images. Graphic violence is a very low vibration. You will, like a tuning fork or a crystal, you will start to resonate and vibrate to that. So if you focus on higher minded ideas, spirituality, you start to vibrate at a higher rate. I mean, and when you look at this chart, I mean, red is 391 hertz frequency, whereas indigo, purple, violet are at 700 to 740 hertz frequency. It's like double. So your base chakra is a lower vibration than your crown chakra. So if you focus on your crown chakra, you focus on higher minded things, literally, that are in relation to your higher chakras. And that is the color violet. That's going to be 700 hertz frequency versus the 369. So when we say vibrate higher, focus on higher colors. Focus on higher vibrations. Focus on F sharp. That's a higher frequency. And it'll raise you up like a tuning fork or a crystal to its high vibration. So I don't know if you've gotten anything out of this one. I hope you did like this episode. it's just, I wanted to get interested. I wanted to get into this because I was interested in learning about the musical frequency, the vibrational frequency, and the colors, and then also how it corresponds to the planets, and then also how it corresponds to our heart and healing our DNA and our physical body. And well, that's pretty much where you have it. I think the sunlight coming to us is a big clue as well. So the color green is the winner. And that's probably why it's so abundant on the planet, right? It's always the healing frequency. It's a balancing. It's a great equalizer. And there sure is an abundance of green here in Ecuador, and I love that. All right. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Don't levitate your neighbor without consent. If you live in Canada, they will persecute you. I wonder if that's anything like the Amish shunning. All right, that's all I got to say about that for now. I love you guys. Write me at metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com. If you have any comments, questions, or anything, send me voice messages to play on the air. No one's ever done that. You could be the very first ever to do that. You send me a voice message at anchor.fm/metaphysical. You have to join and then add me. It's all free though. And then you can send me a voice message all you want, and I can play it on the air if it's within reason. Anyway, that's it for now. I am signing off with peace and joy and the high vibrations. 528 hertz. Green, green, green. The high vibration of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.